I don't want to be too graphic. She comes back from conferences with slap marks on her ass. It's very obvious. You don't hang out at your parents' house wearing that dress. She looks gorgeous in that picture. Walk her to her car at the end of yoga, and I say, I love you. And she goes, I know.
I love you. And she goes, I know.
Putting my stuff someplace as another man's been 45 minutes earlier. She ended up in the fetal position, sobbing like a 3-year-old, kissing Wendy, and all of a sudden she's like, Her Korean girlfriend then brought him as the only white guy to 400 Korean people and just him. Some of the men took offense and he got punched out. Zach was encouraging her to have sex with lots of people, not just him. Into a lot of sex stuff and things where she wants to be told what to do. The last couple of meetings we had, he seemed to think I was a disgruntled ex-boyfriend that got my heart broken, and that's why I was upset. And there was some truth to that. I was upset. But over time, I've got some clarity on some things.
This is Professor Jeff Lacoste. He was dating Wendi Jill at the time of the murder. He was initially questioned and solved the entire case within an hour, but then he felt so guilty he came back for a second and now a third interview. Let's watch.
So this isn't any animosity towards her for being an unfaithful girlfriend. This is more deeply concerning stuff about someone getting killed. Danny had been heard describing Wendy as a pathological liar and a mentally ill narcissistic sociopath. People said, be careful with Wendy. She's a little unbalanced. This is a very troubled person, Wendi Adelson. Deeply troubled person. And at first, she's gorgeous, she's smart, she's funny. I fell for this girl like a ton of bricks. Most men would. And that was one reason I stuck around too long. Very manipulative person, pathological liar. Wendy was an alcoholic while I was with her. She
Obviously, if the girl is very beautiful, none of those negative things matter to a guy.
drank her dinner most nights. Extremely fragile, extremely depressed. And she plays the victim very, very easily. Whenever we got into a confrontation, poor me. But she just wasn't stable even in the fall. So she puts up a very good public face as this accomplished, beautiful, smart, funny woman. She was on psychiatric medications, and in March she decided to come off of those. She's already a sensitive person, so much that, you couldn't say to her, like, hey, I'd appreciate it if you'd be a little more considerate to me. You're being kind of, She'd break down crying for 2 hours. She would throw a tantrum. I've never seen anything like it. Anybody I've ever dated, I've dated some pretty crazy women.
Oh, Jeff Lacoste admitting he dated some crazy broads, but this one takes the cake.
Takes sex tourism trips to South America to have sex with underage prostitutes.
Wait a minute, back up a second.
Yeah, he takes sex tourism trips to South America.
Jeff is referencing old Charlie Boy.
Have sex with underage prostitutes.
Sex tourism.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, South America.
I'm kind of a sheltered guy.
Well, I was shocked not only that he would tell people he did that, but that he would tell his younger sister. He talked in the hot tub about punishing a girl by anally violating her in front of Wendy and I, like bragging about the fact that he'd hurt this girl because she had got him in an uncomfortable situation. They're always talking about, punishing girls through anally violating them in front of his sister. It's just.
Is it braggadocious?
Yeah. Like she got him punched out at a wedding. He had a Korean girlfriend and brought him as the only white guy to 400 Korean people and just him. Some of the men took offense and he got punched out.
Jeffrey's describing a wedding for which Charlie Boy brought one of his Asian angels. Unfortunately for Charlie, he was the only white boy there.
Charlie did.
Yeah, so the way he handled that was to anally violate her and then brag about it the next day. It was really, really weird.
He goes to a Korean wedding as the only Anglo.
Yeah, exactly.
And some men took offense because he was a date for one of the Korean girls that was at the wedding.
Exactly.
He goes to one of them there Oriental weddings and he's the only white boy there.
And he probably opened his mouth or something.
He says he got sucker punched.
His way of getting retribution is the girl that brought him to the wedding is to rape her?
Well, it did not rape. It wasn't rape. It was consensual sex. But he was bragging about the fact that he made it hurt a lot and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
She's very easily influenced. She doesn't have much of a sense of self. She didn't attach herself to Zach. He was into polyamory and having multiple partners. He's bisexual. So she started doing all this crazy stuff.
Jeff is referring to one of Wendy's former boyfriends, Daniel Sack.
Zach was encouraging her, from what she said, to have sex with lots of people, not just him. Into a lot of sex stuff and things where she wants to be told what to do. And one of the things I worry about is that somebody came up with this idea and she went along with it because she doesn't know how to say no. She hates confrontation. I would just be kissing Wendy, and all of a sudden she's like, like a porn star. I've been with a lot of women. Women don't behave like it's just. And we've been together 9 months. I've never seen this before. It's like
brand new behavior.
Yeah, brand new behavior. I'm going. what's going on?
Poor Jeff doesn't understand that oftentimes women that have an affair actually are more sexual with their current partner simply because of the extra stimulation.
And she wants me to, it just didn't make any sense. It was just really strange, erratic behavior. She went down to South Florida, she came back, I could tell she had cheated on me. I was very upset. Had to use the GPS on the way down there, and in it I discover that, you know, last 50 destinations get recorded. I didn't even mean to look at this one, but I see she's been in the Hilton in Orlando like 2 weeks ago when she wasn't supposed to be anywhere near Orlando. She had put the Hilton in. Assume that's like a sex trip with one of these other boyfriends. So I got really upset with her, and we finally had it out. She decompensated in a way that I've never seen an adult do before. She ended up in the fetal position, sobbing like a 3-year-old. Completely fell apart when I said, you know, I looked at, you left your planner out on the table, and I looked at it, and they know Zach's names all through it. So can we cut the bullshit and just have an honest conversation? You know?
As in, she was still seeing Zach recently?
Yeah, she saw Zach September to May. She was
According to Wendi Jill's planner, she was seeing Sachs every day.
doing very erratic things, like she would go to Daniel Sachs' house, spend the afternoon with him, have sex with him, come see me, have sex with me. I had to go get a full STI workup. I'm putting my stuff someplace that another man's been 45 minutes earlier. She conceded this. She was very concerned about her social reputation.
About what, her having sex with Daniel?
And Miguel and Mahul and other men. Yeah, and I said, we stay together, I won't. If we don't, I won't slander you, but let's be adults here. This is Tallahassee. You know how many people I know?
Did she give a reason why she was having multiple sex partners?
Hell yeah, because it's fun.
She didn't, actually. She was laughing and describing some of the experiences she'd had with other men, actually. She was making it clear they were very enjoyable and stuff like that. I've seen that from men. I've never seen that from a woman before. I said, there was this one night where you said you were at book club. I know you weren't at book club. She's like, I was pretty drunk that night. I had a really good time then.
Oh, Jeff can't take a hint.
Is she rubbing this in your face, you think, or is it...
She was, but I mean, it was just strange because I'm not the one that did any. I was completely faithful to this woman, and I was very dedicated. Well, you could ask anybody. Publicly, I was her boyfriend. I was. Gary Hill kept calling Daniel Sack her boyfriend, and that got me pretty fired up, and that's one of the reasons I might not have made a lot of sense, because that was really, it provoked me. I don't know if that's on accident or purpose, but it was one of these things where, like, he didn't seem to know that I was her boyfriend.
Poor Jeff is not looking that great here. In the first interview, he was getting really angered because the investigator was calling Sack her boyfriend and not old Jeff here.
And he thought Daniel Sack was. If men obsessed with Wendy are suspects, you can't trust her to tell you the truth about that. I mean, this is a woman who was separated from Danny, had that boyfriend Miguel, and in a deposition lied and said, I'm not seeing anybody. And it's a licensed lawyer who will lie to the court. So we went to yoga together. It was awkward as hell. She was cold. She was done. I could tell. So I'm sitting there yoga going, okay, this is over. Walk her to her car at the end of yoga, and I say, you know, I love you. I don't know what else to say. And she goes, I know.
I can tell you from experience, that's never a good sign.
Well, that's not ideal.
So, I love you, and she goes, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you do. I'm a goddess.
Talking about narcissism. Yeah. So I literally went, okay, and I just turned to leave. And Thursday, she changes her Facebook picture. I'm sure you've seen the picture of her in the beautiful purple dress. It's all over the media. And that was bizarre to me, because that's a Victoria's Secret dress. It's not a dress you hang out at your parents. You might wear it to a club if you're an undergrad. You might wear it to bed. You don't hang out at your parents' house wearing that dress. She looks gorgeous in that picture.
On the Facebook.
Yeah, she looks like a Victoria's Secret model.
What was the prior picture?
Something that looks more like a 35-year-old woman with 2 kids would have on her Facebook. And she looks pretty in it, but that one looks, she looks amazing in that picture. She's not even that pretty in real life. That picture, I think her dad photoshops that stuff. He does that kind of thing. These are men that she spoke about a lot. And I don't believe she would be honest with you guys about this sort of thing. And or I knew she was at conferences with, and or I suspected she had sex with. I still suspect her and Charlie did this, but I know you guys have to look at everything. There's Daniel Sack, there's Mehul Patel. Mehul Patel. There's Miguel Edmondson. Yeah, it's like Edmondson. There's 2 guys named Trey. They're different guys. One's in Destin as a real estate lawyer. One's in Orlando as another kind of lawyer.
Jeff pulled out a scroll and started to list out all of Wendi Jill's former lovers because they could be potential suspects in the murder of Dan Markel.
There's a person I only know as a gastroenterologist, a GI doc, in Miami that I believe she was seen in early July. He was at her house an awful lot right after the crime. Then there's these conferences she attends, and I don't want to be too graphic. She comes back from conferences with slap marks on her ass. It's very obvious.
There is no such thing as a conference or traveling for business. Anytime your spouse tells you that, they're having an affair.
What happened to her at conferences? So she went to the British American Project conference in London in the fall, and she goes to the Coca-Cola conference in Atlanta. Very wealthy advertising executive and an assistant coach for the Cleveland Browns that she was hanging out with there.
And she told you about the Coca-Cola guy?
Yeah.
She got a name?
Just no rich guy, advertising agency, Coca-Cola. And pretty sure she had sex with him. I don't know if that means he killed anybody. And it's the strengths coach for the Browns, I think. He's Google Browns coach, Coca-Cola scholar, he's on there. And Wendy had talked to me about having sex with multiple guys on multiple days, so I don't think you can say, well, she was at the conference, she was with Mehul, so she didn't have sex with this guy. She had one weekend, she went away, and she only stayed at her house, which was foolish given the game she was running, because like flowers and cards would come from other guys when I was at the house.
While you're there and she's gone?
Yeah. So a box of chocolates got them from Miguel, and I looked at the envelope and you could sort of see something about last weekend, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, jeez.
Poor Jeff Lacoste was house sitting for Wendi Jill when she was at a conference banging a Brown from Cleveland. As he was there, various cards, flowers, and chocolates would arrive from different men, and he would sneak a peek as to who was sending it. Despite being bad at love, Jeff Lacoste is a master at solving crimes, and he knows that one rule, which I tell you about each and every time we meet. You don't fuck with Wendi Adelson.
Dear Wendy, last night was dope. Love, Tyrone.
The conference was amazing. I learned so much.